On the same calendar day, Zhang Linghe's team put out two completely different versions of him. One was unplanned. One had been sitting in a drawer for 4.5 months. Only one of them was supposed to go public that day. Welcome back to Rabbit News Hallyu. On August 14th, in Shanghai, Zhang Linghe stepped onto a stage with singer Shan Yichun for the first time. Within minutes, clips of their exchange were circulating online, with viewers comparing it to a stand-up routine. Hours later, and hundreds of kilometers away in the digital sense, his studio quietly flipped an old Weibo post from private to public. No press release. No announcement. Just an edit history that anyone could check. The event itself was straightforward on paper. Zhang Linghe and Shan Yichun, both brand ambassadors for PUMA in the Greater China region, appeared together to open the brand's archive center, walking fans through an inspiration space and talking through their favorite shoe styles. It was standard ambassador programming, the kind of appearance built around a slogan, in this case PUMA's push for its thin-soled line, repeated deliberately throughout the event. What wasn't standard was what happened when the two of them started talking to each other. Despite never having shared a stage before, the back-and-forth read is immediate and unscripted. At one point, Zhang Linghe jokingly asked to borrow Shan Yichun's shoes, she volleyed something back just as playful, and the room laughed. Neither line was in the campaign's messaging. Neither needed to be. There was also a smaller, more practical moment tucked inside the appearance. During a segment where the two ambassadors recommended items to each other, Zhang Linghe pointed fans toward a specific style in the lineup, the brand's real cat shoe, while Shan Yichun offered her own praise for the product. It's a minor beat in the footage, but it matters for one reason: it shows the campaign's actual selling mechanism sitting right next to the moment that made the campaign go viral. The brand got both things it wanted in the same few minutes, a product mention and an organic clip, and only one of those two things required the ambassadors to say anything scripted at all. This is where the anomaly starts to matter. Zhang Linghe leaned into a sporty, masculine look for the day, a cream knit sweater paired with freckle makeup, while Shan Yichun's segment of the footage focused on her shoes and her frame. Online commentary framed both of them as visually complementary, and PUMA's official account moved fast, launching a PUMA Girl check-in campaign built around images from the appearance. In other words, the brand recognized in real time that the organic moment was outperforming the scripted one, and it adjusted its own content strategy to chase it. That is not a small detail. It is the entire logic of modern ambassador marketing on display in under a minute of footage. But that unscripted moment is not the detail that changes the story. The bigger clue showed up somewhere else entirely. Nearly 5 months earlier, in late March, Zhang Linghe's studio had finished writing a wrap-up report on his drama Jade Pursuit, a retrospective piece summarizing how the show performed after its finale. According to the studio's own account, they chose not to publish it. The reasoning they gave was that Zhang Linghe was receiving heavy criticism online during the drama's original broadcast, and they were concerned a positive recap would be picked apart or misread if it went out during that period. So they finished the post and set its visibility to only me, a setting that keeps content hidden from the public while still existing on the platform. That post stayed hidden for 4.5 months. Then, on August 14th, the same day as the PUMA appearance, and while Zhang Linghe's newer drama This Second Too Much was drawing its own wave of controversy online, the studio switched the old post's visibility back to public. The platform's edit history made the timeline visible to anyone who looked, which is how fans noticed the gap between when the report was written and when it was actually released. The numbers in that report were genuinely strong. Jade Pursuit reportedly crossed a popularity threshold of over 10,000 on both Tencent Video and iQIYI, pulled in more than 120 million renminbi in pre-release sponsorship, and averaged more than 65 million views per episode across platforms. On paper, this is the kind of performance data a studio would normally be eager to publicize the moment a show wraps. Instead, it sat unseen for the better part of a year's worth of promotional cycles. That gap is where audience reaction split into 3 distinct camps, and each one reveals something different about how fans read studio behavior. The first camp was frustrated. From their perspective, the report arrived too late to do anything useful. The golden window for promoting a drama's success is right after it airs, while audiences are still talking about it, not 5 months later during an unrelated news cycle. To this group, the delay wasn't caution, it was neglect, and it raised real questions about whether the studio was actually paying attention to Zhang Linghe's interests during the period when he needed public support the most. The second camp read it differently. Some fans interpreted the decision not to publicly defend him during the original media storm, followed by a later, calmer release of the data, as a sign of patience rather than absence. In this reading, silence during a controversy isn't automatically indifference, it can also be a deliberate choice to not feed a news cycle that was already working against him. The third camp tried to stay out of the emotional argument entirely, pointing out that a drama being both popular and controversial at the same time is not unusual, and that the numbers should be evaluated on their own terms rather than through the lens of when they were released. What ties all three reactions together is timing, and timing is the part of this story that actually says something about the industry, not just about one studio. The available evidence doesn't establish why the studio chose August 14 specifically. What it does establish is that the post went public on the same day a newer project was facing backlash, and that this sequencing was visible enough, through a public edit log, for fans to connect the two events themselves. Some fans have speculated that the timing was meant to shift attention away from the newer controversy. That is a fan interpretation, not a confirmed studio strategy, and it's worth being precise about that distinction. But the fact that a hidden 4.5-month-old post could plausibly read as a diversion tactic, whether or not that was the intent, says something about how thin the line has become between an artist's archive and an artist's crisis management toolkit. There is also an international dimension worth noting here, since a meaningful share of the audience following both Zhang Linghe and Shan Yichun's activity is watching from outside mainland China, on platforms where localized clips and translated captions travel independently of the original Weibo ecosystem. That international audience doesn't have access to a post's edit history by default. What they see is what gets clipped and translated first, and unscripted moments are simply easier to clip than a 5-month delayed statistics report. So the same information gap that fueled domestic skepticism about the studio's timing also shapes which version of the story reaches viewers overseas at all. The playful PUMA exchange travels globally within hours. The Jade Pursuit report, numbers and all, mostly stays inside the domestic conversation about trust and timing. Compare that to what happened on the PUMA stage. That moment worked precisely because nobody appeared to be managing it. It wasn't hidden for months and released with strategic timing, it happened, was filmed, and traveled because it looked real. The studio's decision-making around Jade Pursuit sits at the opposite end of that spectrum, a controlled asset released at a controlled moment, and audiences noticed the difference in tone almost immediately. Put these two stories from the same day next to each other, and a pattern about modern celebrity management starts to come into focus. Unscripted authenticity now travels faster and earns more goodwill than curated messaging, even when the curated version is backed by genuinely impressive numbers. A single day doesn't prove an industry-wide rule, but it does illustrate why so many entertainment companies have started leaning harder into unplanned, in-the-moment content rather than polished retrospectives. The report about Jade Pursuit wasn't wrong. It just arrived in a media environment that has increasingly stopped rewarding things that feel managed, no matter how good the underlying numbers actually are. The shoes he jokingly asked to borrow made him look effortless. The report his studio sat on for months made his team look calculated. Both were true on the same day, and only one of them needed no explanation at all. If you like entertainment stories that go beyond the headline, the kind that look for the quiet signals most coverage misses, Rabbit News Hallyu was built for exactly that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just updates.